welcome everybody to this edition of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with my other co-hosts, Juquarry Armstrong and Damon Armstrong. Uh, we are the Everyday People Podcast, meaning that the kind of conversations we have affects everyone that watches us and will watch us in the future because we talk about everyday things that affect us. And also we try to mix it up a little bit sometimes, but this is where we're here for a reason. And welcome to you, current live guests and future guests. Little housekeeping for you guys. Look, this is Strong Perspective Podcast. Do us a favor, go to our YouTube channel and check out our content. We have great content. We've been doing this. We're getting ready to come up on our 2-year anniversary. We've been doing this for a long time. Um, do us a favor, watch a couple of the videos if you can. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but just let us know. Leave a comment on the page. Let us know that you're watching. And do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe to videos that you like, and subscribe to our channel. Our job really, and I say our job, because what we're going to do, we're going to speak about what our individual expectations of what we're doing, because we do this every once in a while, and of what we're doing on this podcast, and also, what we think the importance of what we're doing. Okay, um, Juquarry, how you doing today, brother?
I can't see myself from the outside, but I believe I'm doing okay, brother. Everything's cool.
Okay, okay. Damon, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm blessed, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, good, good. I also am doing all right. If all right is all right, then I'm right where I need to be. Um, Let me go into my segment. And really and truly, the three of us, we have our different segments throughout the episode that, we feel we want to, even if we have guests, that we want to just bring across and really what our thoughts are. I named mine Big Dog's Perspective. You know what I'm saying? I don't like saying my nickname. You know what I mean? And somebody, because I was from Detroit and Ypsilanti area, I always said dog. I'm in Pennsylvania and dog. And all of a sudden it gets stuck, big dog. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. I don't like saying it myself, but I'm cool with that. But my segment, I thought about what I wanted to talk about, so I'm gonna get a little retrospective when I say this because it's a funny thing that I always think about. Um, we hear the spiritual and the church folks talk about speaking into existence, and I always found it interesting when people say that. Understanding what they're saying. Speaking in existence, meaning that if God hear your cries, or you believe enough in what you want, then it's going to come to you. You're going to get the opportunity, and you're going to feel it, embrace it, and live it. And I think, being a child of God, I think it's okay to be a skeptic, a little bit of a skeptic, because sometimes you got to believe in something. But the funny thing about it, when you talk about speaking into existence, I needed an example. A couple guys and young ladies have said, "Hey, I prayed on it, and I talked about it, and said I repeated it every day, and it happened for me." But then I've seen other folks who only wished it to happen, but really never said anything about it. So I've always looked for proof. So in the indirect way, I found out what the proof was. I figured it out for my liking. And what that is, how you have singers who have those beautiful voices, let's give you examples, Michael Jackson, Beyonce. Uh, just to think about, Elvis Presley at one time for the white folks. Um, I'm talking about the singers that transcended. Our freaky folks, Prince, when they sang, they made you feel you was inside of that song from their voice. So they're singing the good vibe into existence. They're singing the love into existence. Gospel songs. All the gospel songs I can't name, but I know when it comes on, I take the time to listen to it. That those voices are singing joy into existence. And I'm like, wow, okay. That's I was like, okay, I'm feeling that, but I needed more. Then I had to look at the flip side of it. The flip side, drill music. Back in my day, gangster rap. Okay, hell, Public Enemy, KRS One. Uh, those are all the different examples of rap music in which we grew up off. I grew up off of, where I felt those lyrics. Nas, a little bit of Jay Z. Um, the storytellers, especially the storytellers, speaking that vibe into existence. Drill music, all drill music talks about is murders that's being committed. It is that simple. On a hot beat, the murders being and guess what it does? The younger generations get affected by that energy that's being spoken to them. So really, what my main goal in this segment is to say that I personally understand speaking things into existence of what it is, and this is how I grasp it. This is me grabbing on to that whole concept. So when I say something, it's always got to be a positive vibe. When I talk to my children, when I talk to my wife, when I talk to my friends, everyone, I'm speaking positivity and love into existence. We have all examples of that, and we also have the examples in which I stated from the music industry, right? Because it's really on the level of conversation. We speaking great things in this podcast into existence. Communication. But I just wanted to give that example because, I think of it, and that's me. Okay? That's Big Dog's perspective. So if you guys have noticed, every once in a while, maybe once or twice a month, it's just the three of us. The majority of that is, we like to come in and be grounded and, just chop it up because that's where we started from. We started from the three of us. And then, we got the idea of going live and all these different things. But, this is one of them kind of things where we're going into, first part of this thing is the question I have for all three of us is, what do you think this podcast brings to our audience? That's the first part of it. And where do you think this podcast is going? Okay. Now, if you guys are not ready for it, I'll go first. It's up to you.
I'm good. I got you.
All right, we'll start from you, Juquarry.
What I think we bring, man, is an opportunity, man, to speak. I mean, We uh we definitely don't limit our participants to to certain subject matters. I mean, people are free to come on and discuss whatever comes to mind. We do have rules about that how that goes, but we provide a soapbox for the voice. And I'm not saying that other podcasts don't, or we do it any better or more better than anybody else does, but we're definitely a positive option. I mean, as far as I can tell, nobody's been in a drive by or been jumped at the mall because they was on our podcast. And those are things that happen with other people's stuff. God forbid I make a comparison, because that's not what we're here to do. We're here to let everybody know that you know we're here to support you putting yourself out there. We're here to support you showing off your communication skills. Because that I enjoy that. I enjoy hearing people put together clever sentences to make good points. That's it's one of the things that truly brings me happiness. And as far as my expectations, man, I expect us to to continue, at the very least, to be an option, man, to be a positive option. you know uh, from my point of view, and and my perspective, man, I think we kicking ass. It's people that I've known, man, if they tuning in, it's people that I've known for years, man, have never heard me talk this much. And I imagine it might be the same for you too. you know this is a grassroots movement, man. With older brother Keith, with our me and my brother Damon's assistance, man, we built this thing from the ground up. We need a little help. We need a little help from our listeners. We need a little help from people who don't know us, because that's what I'm interested in, man. I'm interested to bring somebody on the show, man, who none of us have a connection with, to see how that goes for us. We're very adept at making the people that we've known, in some cases for decades, man. We're very skilled at making those people comfortable enough to come on here with us and express themselves. But can we do that with a stranger, you think? I'd like
Cool.
to try. Yeah, I'd like to try. I'd like to try. But that's where I sit, bro.
That's easy. That's easy. Damon, are you ready?
No, I'm interested in hearing what you have to say, bro. You got a good build up, man. I want to hear what you got to say.
That's a great job, but that's some bullshit at the same
Hmm.
time, my guy.
He was like, pew. He look, he, you look like the Heisman
It
Trophy
is what it
winner.
is, man. You say, you passed the Juquarry, but you built up. I feel you have something you want to say, bro. Is what I'm saying.
Look, first of all, I'll go because it's nice and simple for me. See, I don't simplify things. First and foremost, when I have conversations with people, it's not to trick them. It's not to. I used to, when I was younger, wanted to show people how smart I was, right? Until I understood that I didn't know everything. And I found out in my early 20s that I wasn't as smart as I thought I was, even though I was intelligent, not as smart as I thought I was. So having conversation in this vehicle here provides longevity, conversational longevity. Because if you guys had not realized it or not, what we do, and we give an example of each and every week because we are consistent with this. What we do each and every week is we give examples of communication. Every show we have not, everybody hasn't agreed with each other. But that's the whole point. You know, what I think this show is, it is an example of. I mean, it's easy for the three of us because we grew up together. You know what I'm saying? Even if we didn't like each other, we still grew up together, so we could get on here and actually have a smooth transition and all this stuff, and do all the different things and say the right things. But it's genuine when it comes from the three of us, and this is what people find out when they come onto our podcast. And what we try to do is we bring on a wide range of individuals who out here in their lives. I'm not, some is highly successful in what they do. Some of them are moderately successful. Some of them just working and just eking out a living. Just living. You know, so it's not about what you do for a living. It's not about your accomplishments. It's about how you can actually hold a conversation, and that's what this thing. I think it gives the people opportunity to do. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is. I tell people this all the time. When the people, our guests, like, especially if their first time, so you will be amazed at some of the things when you go back and rewatch the episode. You'll be amazed at some of the things you've said, and you'll say to yourself, "Man, I didn't realize I said that." Because, and I'm not saying we're expert, but what we've always been able to do, and it has a lot to do with our family, our parents, really and truly, is learn how to communicate with people. So when I'm pissed off, everybody in the room know I'm pissed off. You know why? Because I'm able to say it and tell you exactly why I'm pissed off. Right? If I'm happy, same thing, same scenario. And the energy coming off me matches the mood of what's going on. So I learned every episode. I personally learned something about who I am and the world. A lot of times I look at the upper left-hand corner to see who's watching live, because I have 1,600 followers. I don't even know what that means on Facebook. Followers. I don't even know what the hell that means. But I know I got about 1,400, 1,500 friends. And our feed go to all our friends list. So out of those 1,500, you mean to tell me you guys cannot get on here and at least say hello, pop in and say hello? That's my selfishness right there. Because I would do it for you. Yeah, look, most of them like, Keith, I'm not you. I feel that. I feel that. But guess what? It ain't gonna stop me from saying it. You know what I'm saying? Where I see this thing going, in the direction that it's going. Not trying to be funny. Because the three of us see it. But everybody else, other than the folks who came on, everybody else is coming late to the party. And the next thing you know, you're going to have folks like, oh man, that's my man. Those are my boys. I grew up with them. Them my guys, right? And I'm not saying it in a bitter way. I'm saying, if you surfing through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, right, and YouTube, if you're surfing through those different sites, stop at our joint for 30 to 60 seconds and subscribe to our shit. That's it. Because guess what? We're going to blow the hell up. We already got people in line. We already have people in line who want to come on. And I got them in dates, and this is what we're going to do. Believe me, big things are coming. Just pay attention. And if you guys are watching and throughout the whole podcast, if you're watching, shout us out. Go into the comments, type in, yo, this is uh, Gypsy Buck saying, what up, people? I'm putting it on the screen and I'm acknowledging you because you need to be acknowledged. That's how I feel. Damon?
Well, how I feel is this, man. If I'm in the position, man, or feel comfortable in a position to bear my soul, I'm going to say it. This provides me an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, if it gets to that point where I'm going to say what's on my mind. You know, I don't care if I have oppositions to what I'm saying. That doesn't matter. But if I get to the point where I am in a position where I want to say something that matters to me, I'm well aware of people, you know, who engage might not agree with what I'm saying. I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I think, man, that, you know, most people are not comfortable, man, because they don't think people identify with them.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. This is what most people don't realize. If you are provided an opportunity, man, to say what's on your mind and say what's in your heart, you know what I'm saying? You know, you are able to purge yourself. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if people are going to identify with it or not. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with both of y'all, I don't care if I'm in that moment bearing my soul. Hopefully there is somebody out there that can identify with it. That's the hope. You know what I'm saying? And that is simply you not feeling alone and shit. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But who feels the way I feel? Who identifies with me on a personal level? I'm not trying to reach somebody who not even interested in, you know, trying to understand me. You know what I'm saying? I'm 57 years old, dog. My journey is mine. You know what I'm saying? If I hit a snag in the road and I'm trying to work through some stuff and trying to figure some things out, I'm going to bare my soul and I'm going to say what I feel and what I think. And if it just so happens somebody can identify with it, that's a beautiful thing. Even if it's just one or two people. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just one or two people, I'm okay with that. You know, I don't get caught up in people having an opinion about whatever, because you know you got clowns out there that think that what you're going through personally is weak. You know what I'm saying? And that's cowardice right there. That's cowardice. Oh, I got an opinion about what you're going through. Ain't never been through it in your life, but you got an opinion. I don't get caught up in that, man. What I see, man, and how I feel is when I allow myself, when I'm at peace and I think about the things that matter most to me, and I want to share it to you, that means something. And I'm not going to gauge my thoughts, my private shit. I'm not going to gauge that by who's paying attention. As long as the right people are paying attention. You know what I'm saying? That's all that matters to me. So I'm not going to judge anybody by the standards I do or set for myself too, because sometimes maybe, you know, I got some things on my mind that I don't tune in. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't lessen the emotion when I say, man, I'm going through some shit today and I want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of it, I'm not going to sit back and say, man, well, I wonder if anybody felt what I was saying. Either you're going to feel it or you're not. You know what I'm saying? My only point is that I was able to purge myself and say it. And then the people that really know me say, well, man, did you think about it in this aspect? That's growth right there because that provides me information when I say, you know what, I was 10 toes deep down on this thought. I don't like motherfuckers, man. Excuse my language. I don't like people, man, because they make me feel this way. Can't nobody make you feel anything, man. You know what I'm saying? You have no control over that. The only thing you have control over is how you feel, how you express yourself, and be willing to learn or view things outside of yourself that might be beneficial in your personal growth moving forward. And that's what it is for me, man. So I don't get caught up in the madness, man. You know what I'm saying? People might think I'm arrogant. If I'm talking about my personal life, now dig this shit. If I'm talking about my personal life and you feel a certain way about that, how am I arrogant? I'm not talking about your life, I'm talking about mine. How am I arrogant? No, dude, you got some issues. You know what I'm saying? So just like I purge myself and I'm on this venue saying what's in my heart and what's in my mind, and you passing judgment, at least I'm not afraid to speak it. At least I'm honest with myself. So what you gonna do? Are you as brave as I am? Are you willing to put yourself out there? I would venture to guess that you're not. If you come with your opinion and not understanding, I can see how you feel that way, bro, and I respect what you're saying. It's all it takes. That don't mean that, I can't affect your life, man, if I ain't paying your bills and shit. If I'm not raising your kids. I'm just coming from my own personal perspective. You understand what I'm saying? It's just difficult, man. When you get to a certain age, it's difficult, man, to try to wade through. Try to wade through what you feeling, because somebody has an opinion. Dude, hey man, I hear you, dude. All you got to do is this. Well, hey man, I appreciate your opinion. Did you go through it? No, man, but it's simple. If it was simple, I wouldn't have said it. So, what I'm saying? We got to figure out good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. We got to figure out if we wanting to speak on it, man. That's, that takes a lot of courage, man. It takes a lot of courage.
Okay. So where you think we're going?
I think, man, that we, the three of us, are comfortable. I think there are very few people, man, that understand what life is about as it pertains to how we, the three of us know how life is about, man. If you're looking at our background and you see how we all married, we all raised kids, we all did these things, we all successful to a certain point. You know what I'm saying? People that's paying attention and that listening to it, they have to make their mind up whether or not they're going to be supportive of it or they're going to try to find a chink in your armor. But like I said earlier, if I'm purging myself and I'm looking for answers and I'm, exposing myself, you know what I'm saying? If you looking for a chicken in my armor, then you one less person I have to deal with, bro. You one less person I have to deal with. And that just makes life easier, man. That makes life easier. And the older you get, the more and more you come to realize that that's what life is. And just like all them old heads used to tell me when I used to argue against them and talk shit, because I thought I was clever, like Juquarry was talking about. But I thought it was clever. You know what they would say in response? Keep living, bro. And I bet you $1 to a dime you change your perspective, man. Especially if it's personal.
Oh, living life always change perspective on the good and the bad, bro. All right, well, look, before we go into the second half of the show, Quarry, you up. It's time for your segment. And if everybody's paying attention, you see under Spoke's name is Uncle Spoke Say, just in case, 'cause, he likes to breeze through the name when he did the last 10 times. You know, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go. I'm like, what the fuck did he just say? So
No,
this,
he said it, man. This
no, no,
no,
no,
I heard
no,
it. He
no,
said this.
he
This
said
my
it.
segment. Uncle supposed to say.
Look,
You see, you say it strong.
listen, yes, but now everybody know what he's saying. I'm not saying you would sound like it was gibberish now. Hey, no, it's far from that. But that's a hell of a name that needs to be ring the fuck out. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? All right, my guy is on you.
All right. Well, this is the name of my segment is Uncle supposed to say Tio Spote Habla in Spanish. Uh, this is something I wrote a little while ago. All right. Every time you stoop to someone else's level and match their negative energy, you open yourself up to fuckery and all of his many games. Why, you ask, have I chosen to personify fuckery? Well, whenever we willingly feed into the bullshit of a situation or act in a manner unbecoming of our true selves, those are the times when fuckery takes physical form and he looks just like you and me. Everybody's been him at one time or another. An example: you might know a guy who's always in need of something: money, a pull off your weed, a ride, what have you. Now, he always needs something, but he's always got the best of shit, and you don't. So what's it look like when you finally get fed up and start calling him out? To everybody who knows y'all and the world, who's wrong? Well, let me help you. It's you. You're wrong. Now, before you denut me, just hear me out.
Damn.
I'm gonna name a guy. Well, all right, I'm gonna name the guy, Freeload and Maceo, so everybody can keep up. Now, there was never a time that Freeload and Maceo's hands didn't look like cups. Now all of a sudden, you want to switch up and treat him bad because you tired. Well, who's acting differently? Again, it's you. He has no power over your actions. You can simply say no, but do you? No. You take shit to 100 and things go bad enough for people to not only see your flaws, but to engage you from that point of view. All it takes is one time for your luster to be dimmed in the slightest for everybody for everybody to start treating you different. And once that's happened, you might as well find another crew, because the one that one there, they don't want you no more. They don't fuck with you. All right. Before it gets to that point, you need to understand that opportunistic people see you as a resource, nothing more. Does that mean y'all ain't friends? Heck no. Simply means Freeload and Maceo's style of friendship differs from yours. But that's another hurdle to leap. In conclusion, keep your agenda clean and play fair. Hopefully, it'll come back to you. I've been Uncle Spoke, and that's what I say. Peace.
Okay, got you, got you. Just to let everybody know, good job, Juquarry, as always. Just to let everybody know, I've been for the last 10 minutes or so. I've been screening every person that's had a business on the bottom of the screen. I'm gonna continue to do it throughout the podcast, because what we try to do, we promote black businesses. Period. So if we have time, I'm going to go through each and every one of them and tell you guys exactly what we know them to be. Okay. But for now, what I'd like to do is throw different topics out and just get you guys' opinion about it. Okay. The first one, and it's more of a domestic social media type of deal, is a young lady in Alabama. You guys familiar with the young lady in about Alabama
The one who was missing.
who was missing?
Mm.
Are you also familiar with the investigation that the investigators and the police department, the things that they uncovered?
I'm not.
Well, basically, what's going on, you know how it went viral and everybody's concerned about the young lady and all these different things, right? Now, this is not an indictment on her, and not saying that she lied or anything like that. But it's funny the way people, the way uh, folks are being politically correct about things. The investigator got up this couple of days ago, got up and read what they discovered in their investigation. And forgive me if I don't get everything, but I'm gonna get the gist of it. Basically, while the young lady was missing, they went through her, when they finally recovered her, and they went through her Google search. One of the searches was, do you have to pay for Amber Alerts? Right?
Mm.
And also, there's a couple other things that was said that makes her look like either she was mentally unstable or she just made it up. Right? Now, I am concerned. I talked to Damon last night, and this is not an indictment on her. I think I'll go first. I think what bothers me is, especially in the Detroit area, getting the Detroit news down here in Raleigh, how many young black women are missing from the city of Detroit?
The city is
Now,
DC, man.
I'm talking, no, but this is what I'm saying to you. For decades, not
Hmm.
comparing the two. Just I know because I love my state. I love Detroit. I love Ipsy. So, I got them on my feed, right? But it hurt that the possibility that this young lady, whether it's because of a mental breakdown or she just wanted to disappear and it just went viral on her unexpectedly, it didn't hurt those young ladies that's missing. But me personally, being a former law enforcement officer, my hopes was high when they found it. Because being in law enforcement for 30 years, I've seen the other side of tragedy more than the good side. They're about maybe 55, 45, something like that. You know what I mean? It's neck and neck. It's going back and forth. But my point is, my hopes was up high until I saw the press conference live, and I'm thinking that they're going to give us, you know how they be, and the man didn't have he didn't have a, and I don't know if this is the word or not, but my wife always uses it, accusatory tone. I don't know if it's accusatory is the word, but
It is.
okay, he didn't have that tone. But what he did was read off the evidence and let other people jump to the conclusion. And you know how social media is, which I really and truly, I love the fact that I'm an individual in which I process information more than being swayed by information. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's not what I'm speaking on is not an indictment on her, not even close. I think it's the fact that we as a community rely too much on invisible sources.
What you
Uh,
mean, bro?
Invisible sources, meaning that somebody could just make some stuff up, right, and just throw it out there until the actual credible people come and correct it. But by that time, it's become a hurricane. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm like, it's sad. It's a sad thing. Why I'm even speaking on it, but I know I left out some details of what exactly he found and all these different things, right? But in a nutshell, he threw a lot of doubt without the accusatory tone. He threw a lot of doubt in whether or not this young lady was kidnapped. Her family is riding with her
As they should. As they should. I
though.
mean,
Go ahead.
just really quick, man. And it's not pushback or anything, but I think it absolutely hurts the young ladies who are missing and haven't been found. I mean, because it just it puts them in that space, to be questioned. You know what I mean? It's like
When they want to question you in the first damn place.
I understand that, but I'm trying to see things from a scope of just pure justice, man. I'm not really putting a color on it right now,
Gotcha.
because I'm still feeling some kind of way about Tawana Browley, so and it's unfortunate, man, that when especially situations where a woman and possibly children, man, say something happened and we got to put it under a microscope, instead of just investigating it for what it is. You know what I mean? It shouldn't, in a perfect world, that scenario shouldn't exist. That scenario shouldn't exist, man. But as far as her credibility goes, man, I don't know enough about the situation to to weigh in or anything. I don't know what her mental state is. I hope whatever is whatever transpires, the proper assistance is had by all parties involved, man. I mean, shit. If she is on some bullshit, then she gonna have to take that ride, man. There's consequences to that. There's consequences to it, man. But if she really was abducted, man, that's traumatizing, man.
Yeah.
Beyond words. You don't know
Yeah.
what the hell somebody gonna do when they snatch you up.
Yep.
And for her to survive that, man, you think about the number of people who have survived those situations. You know, that person that person in Milwaukee, man, who victimized all those melanated people, back back, what was it, how many years ago? And I'm sure y'all know who I'm talking about. The person who abducted African American and other minority young men.
Chicago, wasn't it?
No,
You
that
talking
was
about dumb?
I know
yeah, I
what
didn't
you're
want
talking about. I thought it was Chicago. It's
no,
Milwaukee.
yeah, that's
Okay.
Milwaukee. I didn't want to mention his name, but you think about the person who escaped him, man, and went to the police
And got delivered back to him.
and was delivered back like like DoorDash, man.
Yep.
And then the black guy, the black guy who got away, he I think when he was trying to explain what was going on, I think they wanted to arrest him. So I mean, as far as casting a shadow of doubt, man, the world's already done that in every situation, man. In every situation, I mean, Whenever it's whenever it's a scenario that involves African Americans, man, it's going to be thoroughly scrutinized, man. And for us to, to rush to judgment before, we get information from all the sources and try to glean what we can from that. I think we just need to sit on it, man.
Got you. I got you. Damon?
What I feel, if you want to know how I see the whole situation, but what I feel is the guy you was talking about, Keith, who did the investigative whatever. What was his motivation, man? Did he even consider her being a victim? Did he go through her personal information, man? You know what I'm saying? That's held by the Constitution. Why in the hell would you go through her personal shit to find a reason to contradict her situation? You didn't go through her personal stuff, man, to find evidence of abduction or whatever. You went through her personal shit to see whether or not she was lying. What's your motivation on that? You know what I'm saying? To me, that is a situation where you're trying to build something. What I mean by build something is the same thing they did with the CRT and all the other stuff. Is she really a victim? She was gone for 2 days, bro. She wound up. To me, that's a success story. But you want to interject? Well, you know what? She was gone for 2 days, but as I did my investigation and I went through her personal shit, I think she might be lying. You don't give a damn about her victimhood at all. You just trying to, whatever your motivation is. That's what it is to you. What if she did get abducted, man? What if because all the black people who said, we gonna find this woman, and they brought pressure to bear on the kidnapper to let her loose? What if that is the case? But is that what we're talking about? No, we're talking about she might got some mental stuff, or she might have, or whatever. But the one thing I know for a fact, man, I know for sure that it's black babies. Let me emphasize that shit. It's black babies getting abducted all the damn time, and women. And we gonna sit up here and talk shit about whether or not she lying? You know what? The facts prove that she was abducted more than she was lying or went through some mental state. The facts prove that. Because there's young black baby girls and women disappearing every day. So you're going to get into this woman's, think about that shit for a minute, brothers. You're going to get into this woman's phone and personal shit to look for information to prove that she might be lying because she was found alive. Now think about that for a minute, bruh. We actually going to entertain that bullshit, man? When we know black women disappear and black baby girls disappear every day, we're going to entertain the fact that, hey, maybe she set it up or she went through a mental state or whatever. We going to stand on that shit? So next time when the black woman disappear, we're going to say, well, let's go through her personal shit, which goes against her constitutional rights.
Bro, hold on. Not to cut you off, but they're supposed to go through her personal shit. If she's missing. If she's missing.
See, this is the thing. Wait.
That's all I'm saying to you.
Real quick, Damon. I mean, a lot of people had this misconception that the prosecutors only pursue what they see as the guilty party.
Right.
In the beginning, prosecutors, I mean, they looking at everybody involved.
Okay.
Their investigators are looking at everything.
Okay. You want to know my response to that is, bro? What about gag orders, man? What about gag orders as it pertains to the situation that's happening? Investigative shit. What about gag orders?
unless the judge puts a gag order on the situation, then information is free.
That,
Okay,
that's
but
that's
my point is this. My point is this. What if she was abducted, right? Think about this for a minute. Just hear me out.
I'm not disputing that,
Just
man.
hear me out.
nobody's saying that she wasn't or what. I just said
Just hear me out for a minute, bro. Just hear me out. What if what they saying, what they found out in her personal shit was true? That that she looked into this and she looked into that, whatever. And at the end of the day, they compromised a jury pool. That's what they did by violating her constitutional rights. They compromised her shit by saying, "Well, you know what? She showed up safe and alive or whatever." And as we look through her stuff, the question to bear is that she might have staged the whole thing. But what if she was truly abducted? Them putting that shit out compromises the shit.
how does it compromise it when they're the one that
Because
man,
a potential jury is going to look and say, you know, she investigated this and she investigated. But what if she was truly abducted?
but here's the thing, man. You are making a good point, but they have not found the suspect. You understand what I'm saying? You bringing all this stuff at the end. I get what you're saying, and the thing about it is, you may very be right. She probably was abducted, whatever. I just brought
And
up,
get
I
right,
threw it out there as, yo, this is what this man, this is how I saw him at the press conference do. It was not an accusatory tone. What he did was state the evidence that he found.
right.
And you notice they didn't say. Now, this is from what my personal experience and from my job experience. They didn't say, they didn't come right out and say, oh, it was a hoax, because they definitely would want to say it was a hoax.
Okay,
You understand what I'm saying? They would want
right,
it. But what they did was they hedged their bets, is what
right,
they did.
right. It
And
should
the
have
only,
been but correct me if I'm wrong, Keith. He was law enforcement and all that stuff. But think about this for a minute, man. Say they wind up finding a suspect, right? They wind up finding a suspect who actually kidnapped her, right? Who let her go because of the pressure that was put on with everybody looking for. Say that scenario actually happened, exactly the way I'm describing it, right? And then the cat that abducted her get into court, and his attorney says, "Well, we went through her shit, and we found that she was uh, researching this and researching that. So was she really abducted? Knowing knowing that the strong possibility that she was, but because this cat that you described put all these things out there because he's trying to speculate on some shit. There is a defense because he put that out there.
he put it out there because they are not going to look for someone. That's my personal opinion. They're not going to look
Okay,
for anybody because they had a conversation with her. Like I said, I'm not putting words in her mouth. I'm not saying that she was abducted. So this is the point. I'm saying it in response to what you're saying. I get it, but it's two sides of it. The point I was trying to make is I wanted you guys to comment on it because I really believe that she was abducted.
I do too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
As,
saying?
and as far as the information that the prosecutor released, man, in today's atmosphere, I could very well see, a reporter, a street cop, or somebody like that gathering information and being about to put that information out. So the prosecutor decides to get out, ahead of this situation, and hold a press conference. How many press conferences do you have in your memory that they released this amount of information in?
Excuse me for a minute.
There's a lot of information.
It's a lot of information. So I
A lot
mean,
of information.
if he didn't feel like his case, if he didn't feel like his case would be compromised, through the release of information that wasn't coming from him, I don't think he would have been that forthcoming.
And look, I'm not gonna put words in the folks' mouth. I'm not gonna do that because my thing is, if a woman felt she was abducted, then until you show me that she's at the Red Roof Inn eating a steak in that corner diner, I'm gonna assume that's what's going on. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just it. It ain't my job. But like social media, as soon as they found out, they started dragging her. You know, messing with her reputation, doing this, doing that. Oh, she had a mental breakdown, all these different things. But guess what? We get manipulated into doing those things. You understand the highs and the lows, the highs and the lows. We had a low. She was abducted. Then we got a high. She was found. Then a low. Wait a minute, there's some speculation here. You feel what I'm saying? And I think what you need to do is not say anything until you get it all. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about it is them doing that right away, that tripped me out.
Exactly.
Because I was looking at it. No, this is my point. I was looking at it like, whether you believe her or not, you're just throwing it out there like you don't believe it. And that's not your fucking job until you come to the conclusion that you don't believe it.
You
That's
spanking
just
the
the
you,
way it is.
you spanking the baby for burning her hand on the stove, man.
And here's the thing that's crazy,
That's
bro.
that's the what's your I don't know. Go ahead, bro.
Here's the crazy thing that people who want to choose sides, man. Here's the crazy thing. They went through her shit and they saw that she looked for she researched Amber Alerts and all that stuff, right? And they say, well, damn, she did all that, then she probably staged this shit. And you know what? The one thing that they're not thinking about, man, she researched that stuff because she was passionate about it, and then she just so happened to see a baby on the side of the road and stop. Maybe that was her motivation. Maybe that research she did was motivation for her to stop. See, you don't think about that. Because the only thing they're looking at
All
is
right, now, you my man. I'm right with you, but that was shaky, dog. That was shaky. Give me some more. Give me a
why
little
is
more.
that shaky? What
Because
what if that is a possibility?
listen what I'm saying to you. Depending on when she researched it. If she researched it on the side of the road, that's a different thing. Right? But if she
Mm-hmm.
researched it after she became missing, that throws speculation up there.
Okay. In whose mind?
Hell, in my mind, brother, to be honest with you,
But you just said you believe she was abducted.
bro,
Why did you come to that conclusion? You believe she was abducted.
listen.
Why did you come to that conclusion?
Because I want to believe that she was abducted and she got back safely. I want to believe that because there's so many women who don't make it back. You understand what I'm saying to you? I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. What I'm doing, nothing more, nothing less.
So what I
And
said, Keith,
what I just said, what I said, what you just said to me was, well, maybe because of the kid and this, that, and the other, right? But I'm saying this is what popped in my mind.
but
It depended on when she did it, when she
right,
researched the thing, when she Googled it.
right, right. But what I described, did it put any doubt in your mind?
No, it didn't. I mean, for me, I mean, it
It,
didn't
it,
make
it
it. it doesn't make sense for her to Google, anything about Amber Alerts because she's a grown woman. So what does that have to do with any? What does her being abducted have anything to do with Amber Alerts? They're not gonna put her name up.
But she's being judged by Google and Amber Alerts. She's being judged by that.
Well, shit, man. I in the past, I've researched the results of the bubonic plague. That don't mean I'm gonna get in the lab and be goddamn, trying to figure out how to spread it.
It's just funny to me how what she researched, man, automatically make her guilty or not believable.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with jury trials, what I described does it at least put a thought in your mind and say, you know what? She is a crusader to kids disappearing. And she just so happened to see a kid on the side of the road. And because she was passionate about kids disappearing, researching Amber Alerts, she felt compelled to stop.
For me as a jurist, man, I don't think that it's a strong enough option for me to plant my flag on, man. I mean, if her attorney was skilled enough to reinforce that, then hey, you know,
Well, like,
all they need is to cast the shadow of a doubt to be cast. That's all that's all that's needed.
as far as we know, they haven't charged her. They haven't accused her of lying, anything like that.
No, but they planted the seed that she
Oh,
is.
of course, they're always going to plant the seed.
Okay, then so so in her defense, why not attack that shit?
It has. Listen, they have not found a suspect, right? And just like I said, they haven't accused her of anything. But what ended up happening is doubt. But who gives a fuck? Let me tell you something. Who gives a fuck about social media?
But that, come on, brother.
No, no,
Listen,
no,
man.
no, no, no.
No, what, man?
No, I don't give a
What?
shit. No, I don't give a shit about social media, man. You take the information that you find and then you process it yourself. I think that you leaning toward how she looks to everybody else because this man said this. It has nothing to
She's
do with
been she's being convicted in social media
and
as a
what
liar.
so what does that have to do with anything though? Because they have not, as far as I know, to this date, they have not said she lied. I'm talking about the police and all that. They haven't said anything. But they did cast the doubt out there because of
That don't that
what
don't
they
matter.
investigated.
That don't matter in terms of
So
her
how
case.
does it matter? Are they what are they going to do? Did they? You think they're going to charge her?
No, I don't think they're gonna charge her
Okay.
initially. I think potentially that they would false imprisonment. I mean, not false imprisonment, but false
She didn't
shit.
say
That
anything. She just
huh?
did shit. She didn't say anything.
Right,
She
but
just
you
did
just you
shit.
just said as the whoever you talked about, you just said that uh he put this information out that maybe she might be lying.
See, the thing, man,
But,
that
see, but that's the point that you. I came to the conclusion that what he did was throw things out there through his investigation.
Okay.
I didn't say that he said she was lying because really and truly he didn't want to say she was lying. You want to know why? Because that jurisdiction did not want to become the bad guys in the scenario, just in case she was actually kidnapped.
Well,
the
he poo
most
pooed
the
that shit.
most the most compelling part of this whole situation, man, is the fact that she came back alive, man. I mean,
Yeah,
for really real,
I'm good with that.
yeah, I'm good with it too, and God bless her. But for me, it would have been much more easier, or not for me, because that's it's going to sound weird, but in my thinking, man, it would have been much more easy because she was gone for 2 days, right? Whoever abducted her could have taken her anywhere in the freaking contiguous United States and dumped her somewhere after he snuffed her out. So the fact that she came back alive, that could possibly cast a shadow of a doubt. It's
Ah,
much more
no, I mean,
it's much more easier for the abductor to
you know,
to do to end her and hide the body.
hey,
It could be years before she was found.
I'm gonna tell you the funny thing about it, Jaquar, and this is not disagreeing with you, but when these little frail white girls escape their captors, you know what I'm saying? And she was a nice sized black woman. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. It is what it is. Hey Liz, how you doing?
Hey, auntie.
Love you, baby.
What's up, Auntie?
Um, I don't want to say, and it had to do with the energy because the lady is alive. She's alive. You know what I mean? So what if she was abducted for one thing, or she made it up for another? It has nothing to do with me. And
Mm-hmm.
what I brought up earlier was it made me sad when that shadow was cast. Not
Mm-hmm.
because she was lying, not because, I thought she was lying. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's the women in the Detroit who they find that come up missing and they find deceased. Sad, man. Here down in Raleigh, the same thing. Hey, across this nation. It's sad to me. It hurts. And that's the only thing that I really and truly cared about. You know what I mean? Because she made it back alive, and I wish the majority would have made it back alive. I mean, that's just how I feel. You know what I mean?
All
Yeah.
right, bro. What else you got, brother?
I'm gonna change it up a little bit. Um, what and if you guys got some, feel free to hop in here. And the folks that's watching us, if you got a question, if you want to make a statement, please hit us up in the comment and we'll address it. But I was talking to a friend of mine, and I want both your opinions. We were both retired law enforcement officers, right? And my friend, while he was working, when he was a good person, but he wasn't the most sociable human being, right? He was selective in who he associated with. Me, on the other hand, when I know I'm working with someone and in any given moment we're depending on each other for our lives, I'm gonna keep a I'm not gonna kiss your ass. I'm gonna keep a good speaking relationship with you. Right? Now, I'm exaggerating this just a little bit, but this man was antisocial and picky in who he really messed with, right? So we was just talking. We were both retired, so we were sitting there talking, and he said something to me. Now, this is a good friend of mine with 22 years. He said to me, the one thing I don't like about it is when you retire, talking about law enforcement, when you retire, people forget about you. They forget about you ever worked there. And I'm going to give you my point of view of it. And I listened to that and it hit me like, what did you actually want? And this is not an indictment on him. But what do you actually want people to do? because you know the job, you know what their responsibilities are, and then you know the myth, the mythical BS that comes with retirement. Like you on a fucking island somewhere. Some people are, in retirement. Some people are chilling, right? But other people are just living their lives trying to figure out where they're going, right? And he wasn't upset, but he felt some kind of way because he felt like he was being forgotten. And my question is, does he have a valid feeling, or do you feel as though, and this is my point, I think he missed the responsibility, of what we did every day. Being, whether you have different degrees of being an alpha, when you're in the uniform, you are an alpha. There are meek alphas, and then there are, you know what I'm saying, what they call the apex predator alphas. Do you think he has a valid reason to feel that way? I think so, but to be honest with you, I think what you're doing is missing the power.
Okay, then so he's an apex alpha then.
I'm not judging them. I just gave you examples. There are meek alphas and there's apex. And and my question is, do you think he's just missing the power?
He might not.
Do you think he's missing the power of it and feeling as though he belongs, or is his reason valid? Like, yo, he don't want to be forgotten.
I mean, I could see him absolutely missing at least the adoration that came with the uniform. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you talk to military retirees, guys, who've done 20 years, after they get done, they miss. Yeah. There's a certain command that comes at the station, but the service. The service. I mean, him going out and you know, no matter how antisocial he seemed to be at the time, him going out and serving the community, man, and being a responsible figurehead. You
That's
know,
it.
when he put on the uniform, it automatically came. But now that he's left to his own devices, basically, and he's got to go out and he wishes to exude the same presence that he did when he was wearing the blue. He's got to work a little harder. And he's frustrated with the hard work, probably.
All
I
right.
think I think that
Before you go, I'm gonna use one of your words, Fluke. Here's the caveat to it. He is a gifted minister. All right, go, Fluke.
no, you just threw a wrinkle in it, man. Because
I get it.
Uh,
when
No,
you
no,
just when you first
go ahead, man.
described him, well, maybe Juquarry have something to add to it because you put that caveat on it, man.
Yeah, I did. I did that on purpose because it's actually the truth. So
If you
just give me your
said
opinion. It ain't
you
no.
said
It's always no right or wrong to it.
now if correct me if I'm wrong. If you say he's antisocial and
I was being honest. But go
okay,
ahead.
and then you threw in apex predator, then it's
I
all
said,
about ego.
but hold on, bro. I hate to quit interrupt you. I gave you the spectrum from meek predator to apex predator. I didn't say he was one. I
You
just
did
said
that.
it was the in between. But go ahead, bro.
You said that.
Go ahead.
Was he military?
Navy, like a motherfucker.
Okay, so for him,
Go
So
ahead, dog. I got
for
you.
him, it might be a sense of duty, man. You know what I'm saying? And plus, he's a minister also.
Mm-hmm.
So for him, it was about duty. So the way you described him in the beginning was, you did him a disservice because you said you started talking about alpha. Most alpha guys, they're all about dominance and putting forth their dominance in a way. You know what I'm saying?
That's our whole job.
Right.
That's law enforcement.
But right. But it might come across that way. But you say he's a minister,
Yeah.
and
Good one too. Very good.
right. So and he's a minister and he was in the military. So he might be coming from that angle where I have a sense of duty to uh, 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 serve my community this way. I don't think Apex or Alpha should have even been brought into the picture. I mean, maybe he's just that guy who has a sense of duty and righteousness. You know what I'm saying? And especially if he's a minister, you know what I'm saying? He's incorporating religion in that. So what he's missing is me personally. I don't know the guy, but I think what he's missing is that connection with the community to express what he is. And if I'm hearing you right, based on his occupations, man, minister and Navy and all that stuff, since his duty, he's seen it as him giving back to the community. You know what I'm saying? In his belief. So is it doing him a disservice by categorizing him as an alpha male, be it mild or extreme?
Yeah.
Or is he just being who he is? And what is it that he's actually missing? His sense of duty as a human being, as a Christian, as a minister, as a military person. His sense of duty was all about serving,
But
He's
right?
he's a poster child. He's a poster child for civic engagement.
And look, but
Right.
the point is, there's different levels of being having civic duty, right? Because I use alpha for a reason. Because you have to be at least a certain percentage of it to do your job in law enforcement, period. Because every time you go to a call, you have to, whether it's in a small way or major way, take control of the call because they're there, you're there because they need you, right? That's all. It's look, I think I should not have put it in that way because people would take it and run with it. But I did try to explain it so people wouldn't come and would take it and run with it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
Because
didn't say he was loud or obnoxious or anything.
no, not even
I mean,
close. And just like
I
I
think
said,
sister, I think sister girl described it being feeling needed.
yeah, there's no doubt about it. And and that was part of what I was going to say. And,
Okay.
and Lisa, you said it correctly because he and I had this conversation. This is the only reason I'm bringing it up because we had this conversation. And really and truly, what I said to him was the fact that, you know, this is the only difference between everybody else. Being law enforcement and being a minister is two different parts of the spectrum, in my opinion.
You don't think it coincides, bro? Based
If,
on
if now, I'm answering your question.
Okay.
If if you need to show compassion at a certain time when you're affecting your duty, right? But they could be in conflict at the same time too.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And it's a hard way to go, but I know at least, and this is no exaggeration, I know at least 8 pastors that I work with. And I ask them every time, I say, hey, how do you handle this? And, and to a man, they had different answers. You know what I mean? Because see, me personally, I like I like to sort out how I feel about things, so I can give you a more accurate answer to how I feel. So if I can sift through the emotions of something, it's me personally.
Right.
If I can sift through the emotions and give you an authentic answer, that's what I'm going to do. But I can also give you my emotional answer. And you know,
You said
usually your emotional answer is really and truly closer to the actual event.
you just said something, man. That's like an anomaly to me, man. How many people you think in law enforcement has something to do with ministry, man?
A lot down here, brother. I'm
Yeah, for me,
telling you.
That is that
from
is it an anomaly? Is that
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
think so. I don't
no.
think so. Because
Religion,
it's a lot down here. When I was in Pittsburgh, it was the same thing.
yeah, religion and law enforcement, walk hand in hand, man. I mean, the Ten Commandments, man, is the basis to
I
every
get
law
you.
on the face of the earth.
I get it. I get it.
So,
So it's how they apply it then.
I
yeah,
think so.
yeah,
I think so. And it also depends on the individual. Because
That's deep.
I tell you, a lot of times when you see people trying to trying to navigate the shit, because see that's what's deep about it is they try to navigate how they personally feel and what they need to do at the time,
mm,
So
right?
elaborate on that, bro. If they coming into a situation when this is like,
Because okay, I'm gonna elaborate like this. When I was younger in law enforcement, in my 20s, early 20s, this before marijuana was legalized and all this shit, I knew people my age. If they got around somebody who was smoking weed and all this, they would arrest them. Me, because I came through, and most people don't know this about us. We came through the weed area when they was making movies about marijuana, Cheech and Chong, and all this shit, right? It's been not all the time. If they were disrespectful, I had to handle it. But if I'm like, yo, and they would get a lecture from me, like, yo, do you not see me here? Do you not understand that I will snatch your ass up and take you to jail? And I defy you to tell me that I wouldn't. Because you give me an excuse. If you tell me I wouldn't do it, give me an excuse to do it. But I'm like, yo, give the public respect. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like, you got home. Smoke that shit before you come out of your house. It's only gonna take you an extra 2, 3 minutes, but you out here trying to be cool.
yeah.
Like,
That depends on how you smoke, shawty.
yeah, exactly. But my point, this is my point. I didn't do it every time, but I understood the plight because I came from that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
But then as I got older, understanding that everybody, which is so crazy about it is, motherfuckers who breaking laws, they know they breaking laws, bro.
Hmm.
See, they breaking laws and not aware of it. No, and this is not everything. I'm just saying there's certain things they try to push the envelope. I'm like, bro, you cannot push the envelope around me. I'm not judging you or anything like that, but don't disrespect the public and don't disrespect the job that I'm doing right now. You know what I mean?
Can I can I push back on that?
Go ahead, man.
Um, you say they know they break the law, and for you, it's not. No, correct me if I'm wrong, bro. It's not the fact that they have an addiction or whatever. It's the fact that they know they're breaking the law, right? And that's where you stand on shit. You know what I'm saying? You all about the law. You all about,
Because
you know
it's
what I'm
my
saying?
job.
This is my engagement with you.
First of
How is
all,
that how is that different from cats who are in the ministry who engage those people? How is it different with you as opposed to them and how they approach it?
Can I say something? Can I say something, Key?
no, no, no. Let me answer this real quick. First of all, I'm not comparing myself to them.
No, I'm asking you. I'm not. I didn't say you did. I'm just asking you in that situation. Look, I don't know
Because
what it's like
the way
to go into a situation where you have to be the letter of the law.
no, let me put it like this: the way I described myself just now, I was being honest, right? But it didn't happen every single time. No, what ended up happening was because when it's a young black man and I see it's a situation, I'm not stupid. See, this what pisses me off is when I said earlier that a man or a woman know they breaking the law. That's real because you wouldn't try to hide it. You understand what I'm saying? Don't tell me, look, and I say this really, and it's on along the lines of this. I made decisions to charge and not charge throughout my whole situation,
Mm-hmm.
and every single time I was comfortable with it. But understand something: I followed the professional protocol because that's what I did for a living. I made the choice to do that. I seen too many brothers who want to be down, right?
Right.
I used to tell them, bro, they don't think shit of you because they doing it right in front of your face. You ain't shit to them because they not respecting you. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yep. I
That's
get
how
you.
that's how I see it. It
I
don't have
get you.
nothing to do with I'm going to look for and I want to arrest my no man. Hell no, hell no.
I get you.
What I wanted to always do was do my job to the very best of my ability. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, when it came to violent crimes, oh, I didn't, I might have sympathized with you, but yo, you know this is fucked up. You got to come
But
with me.
yeah.
You feel
When
me?
you, I imagine, man.
When
I imagine, man, when you working in law enforcement, man, and you're supported by biblical doctrine, then everything is pretty much cut and dry with you, man, because
It's real.
you've essentially taken the man and your own personal decisions out of the equation.
That's real.
Okay,
If
yeah,
you're a minister, I
are
can.
you righteous in doing that though, bro?
you're absolutely righteous, I believe. Yes, sir.
If you, I think just chiming in with Juquarry, if you with the complete doctrine, you can find righteousness in it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
With all comfort,
Explain that.
with all comfort. Because I mean, as I just said, man, every all laws of the land are basically based upon the Ten Commandments. Now, if you go into a situation where you're law enforcement and you have the laws of the land, the law, your post orders and your facility procedures and everything, they pretty much back biblical doctrine.
I don't agree with that, bro.
It doesn't
I
matter
don't
if
agree
you
with
it
that.
doesn't matter if you agree with it or not, man. I mean that's just what it is.
Right, but are you following the Constitution though? Are you
The
respecting
cons
everybody's constitutional rights?
the
What if you're not
Constitution
religious?
the Constitution can be looked at as a document that's based upon biblical treatise. Uh,
You
everything
talking you talking about the United States Constitution?
the United States Constitution, yes. I mean, not the
It's
actual
not based
word.
on biblical.
I haven't finished. I haven't finished.
Okay.
The actual document is not based upon biblical doctrine, but at the end, isn't it at least signed with a prayer? In God we trust. It's on all of our money.
Okay. Say that's the case. But are you following constitutional rights, man? As opposed to citizens, are you following constitutional rights?
The fact that
Because you
I don't,
believe.
and I don't know how I don't know how the Constitution ends. Again, I'll say, but I'm quite sure that God is mentioned somewhere within that document. The American people will look upon that document with religious reverence, man. That's
all
just
all
who we
all
are as
American
Americans.
all American people.
No,
Okay, then. So you being definite in your analogy. You being definite, bro.
yeah, I am because that's my
Everybody does not follow the same religions. This is supposed to be a melting pot religion. Everybody believe what they believe or whatever. If you bring in your own personal thing in, like you just said, you said it's all stamped and validated by what? Your own personal religion.
no.
What
I
if
just
that?
said
What if
I
that? What if that's a contradiction to somebody who don't believe what you believe?
then they need to find somewhere else to live because, as I said before, religious doctrine in this country. The law of the land is always been backed by religious doctrine.
But you got to think about it though. But they purposely do what? They always say church is separated from the state,
Church has never been
Right.
separated from state.
but it's never is. If you
Never been
really
separated from
if
state.
you pay attention to it, it never is. But this is what they say. That's the default. That's
Okay,
the default.
so as far as that default that you just described, are you okay with that based on your 30 plus years in law enforcement? Are you okay with it?
No, no, listen. No, I'll give you a definite answer. No, but
Okay.
understand something.
So
Understand.
so my point is, bro. My point is not to cut you off. I apologize for that, but not to cut you off. But what I'm hearing from you, you are guided by your personal beliefs, and that's how you engage the public.
I engage the public in a professional manner, and that look in professional manner has nothing to do with my personal belief. It's the job that I am doing. You understand? And then
Right.
there were situations in which I can affect when I have the power to charge whoever I want to charge, as long as I can articulate.
Okay, and you articulating.
There's a reason not to do it.
No, we talk. No. Hear me out for a minute, man, and then I'll be quiet. The basis of our argument is based on religious constitution. What we believe, whatever, right? Are you able to put your religious constitution aside and respect other people who don't believe what you believe?
You asked me that question.
Yes.
First of all, and I'm answering you. Being a black man in this country,
Mm-hmm.
understanding being, whether it was intentional or not, being behind the eight ball. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What you do is, I, this is why I said I follow professional procedure, because it goes from this point, this point, until the job is satisfied. You understand what I'm saying to you? Because if somebody breaks the law, technically breaks the law, I have to do my job.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So religion,
Personal feelings be
if
damned.
it has to do, if my religious aspect, if the job got in the way of my religious aspect, I would not do the job because my, lack of a better word, my soul wouldn't be able to handle it
Okay.
because I was gifted with that. Our parents gifted us with the ability to hold on to who we are. Can you agree with me on that?
I agree with you in terms of what your convictions are and what you believe.
No, it has nothing to do with my conviction. I just
What
told you.
the question I'm asking you is what are you led by, man? Are you led by your personal feelings and how you think? I
He
mean,
just
you
he just told you that if he was if he had the freedom to be led by that, then he would question the job. I mean, I absolutely adhere to policy because as I said before, it takes the man out of out of the decision making.
And
Okay, and pe- our community needs people with this kind of thinking in certain positions, man.
and that
absolutely.
that's
I
exactly
agree.
what I was. That's exactly what I was going to say to you. Is the simple fact that I did not dream about, and you both know, I didn't dream about being a law enforcement officer for as many years as I worked it. That even fucking come close. And what I wanted to be in my life is another damn episode. But the point I'm trying to make to you is this: my conviction is somebody had to be there to represent us. So if my representation leads me down the road that I gotta arrest you because you did something fucked up to somebody, that's what I'm going to do without hesitation. Yeah, I'm gonna feel bad, and the conversation with you on the way downtown, and I'm going to tell you how much I sympathize with your plight. But what you did was wrong. I'm talking about humanly wrong, not society wrong. Human, what you did to a human. You understand what I'm saying? That's all.
Right.
That's
Right.
that's that's the way I conducted my life.
Right.
Following the policies. You feel what I'm saying? And
Following the policies.
and dealing with people from the human aspect.
Okay, so void of your convictions.
Personally, yeah.
Okay, that's the only
Sometimes,
that's all I'm asking.
sometimes,
So
because
if it's about your convictions, then you might
hold
be
on.
violating rights, man.
You get ready to jump to a conclusion, and you're gonna be all wrong, brother.
Oh, I
Because
ain't trying to be that,
no,
bro.
no,
I ain't trying to be that.
so let me just say this:
Okay, I'm
you
listening.
have to have conviction to do the job right,
Based on the Constitution.
based on everything who you are as a human being. Period. It can't be just one thing, bro. It can't be.
Damon, let me present something to you, man. Okay, say you work in my facility, right? And there's a young man who's out of control. He can't control his own self. He's a fighter. He might come out of his room. He spits on people. Every time he breaks that door, there's some kind of incident, right? Okay. Now, this young man is put on 48 hour, 72-hour room restriction.
Okay.
Okay, he comes out of his room and does the same thing. You know, as far as him being fed, that's happening all the time. But that he has the opportunity to, anytime that he has an opportunity to shower himself, he actively puts other people in danger.
Okay.
So I make the decision to give him a wet rag, no, just to give him a rag, because he's got water in his room and some soap, and tell him from my mouth, hey, you can't conduct yourself in a manageable way. So as a consequence, you have to take whole baths because I can't trust you out of here, out of here with my staff or the other people. Is that a violation of his rights, of his civil rights?
What is he doing when he taking showers?
It depends on the rules, but yeah.
Every time he leaves his room for showers, he gets into a physical altercation with my staff or the other detainees. He's consistently done it, and this hasn't happened. It's a scenario, but
Mm-hmm.
every time he breaks that door, he puts another human being in danger.
Mm-hmm.
My solution to this is to give him a towel so he can take a whole bath in his room. Am I violating his rights?
In your mind, you not. But why not
It's
put it in
technical.
him? But
I'm
why
on.
not?
Yeah.
But why not put him in a position where he can take a shower without violating motherfuckers?
Because
Meaning, meaning,
he's
meaning
in the
that
same position. He's in the same position as each and every young man on that unit. Every time he breaks that door to take a shower, he punches somebody in the face.
You know what?
so your answer is to give him a bath.
My answer is to let him do his hygiene behind the locked door in the privacy of his own room.
So him accosting people during shower time,
Hmm.
you're gonna take away his rights based on what?
Why does his right? Why does his right to a shower outweigh the right to everyone else's safety?
It shouldn't.
And I
All
ask
right.
you again. I ask you again, sir. Is that a violation of his constitutional rights?
Well, it all depends on what you
Yeah.
think or what you feel is punitive.
Not that. No, it depends. It depends on the facility and how they do things. But
Right? I agree with that. I agree with that.
him
But
being a juvenile, there's certain things that you can't do to
right.
juvenile.
So how do you so in answering your question, brother, how do you uh support his rights and still keep everybody safe?
Well,
By giving the car, giving him a towel and say, "Go take a whole bath."
in the meantime, yeah, because
Okay.
he's still got the right to clean himself.
All right. Well, look.
We're just gonna have to work on different situations where he can be a little more cooperative while he does so outside of his duty.
Therein lies the solution. Working on different situations. Now, if you say, "Hey man, I'm gonna give you a towel and a bar of soap, go in there and whole bath mode," and that's all you got, you know what I'm saying, are you
Yeah.
violating his rights to cleanliness and washing his body?
No,
You're not.
no,
Are you restricting his rights, his constitutional rights? Are you
he, he
restricting it
he's restricted his
based
own
on
rights
what?
based on his lack of self control.
You dictate what he deserves based on your opinion about
No, no,
what he's
no,
doing.
bro,
No,
bro.
sir.
First
No,
of all,
sir.
let me
No, sir.
interject. He dictates by his behavior. Now, there are
Absolutely.
things in place. There are things in place
Okay,
when it comes to juveniles
right.
that what Juquarry just described is a gray area. That you look, it depends on who sees it. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a gray area. Now, if he's on a lockdown unit and he has only so much time, like in the county jail, if you're on lockdown, you have an hour to come out and shower and all that, but you come out and
Mm-hmm.
shower by yourself with nobody present. You know what I mean? Certain things in place. I get that. I get it. Let's do this. Let's address what Eric just said is on the screen. This is hilarious, but I want y'all to, but I want y'all to
Hold
respond
on
to.
for a minute. I'm gonna respond when I come back, man.
I think I think that shit was pretty compelling, man. I mean,
I mean, it's compelling, but honestly, honestly, you put yourself in a position you shouldn't be put in because the way we think of juveniles in this country,
Yeah.
they get them. It's more therapeutic than anything.
But what? Yeah. 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 But
So
point
that's
the
not pure.
point
That's not now. If that's a grown man, if that's a grown man, it's a
either
different thing.
or. It could be
No,
either or.
no,
Yeah.
sir.
Absolutely. Because
Juvenile, both you work with juveniles. You know it's different, man.
yeah.
You know it's
But
different.
yeah. No. It's the exact same thing because I would rather have this young
I
man,
know.
threaten my life and be mad at me, threaten to kill me
I
every
get
day,
that. I'm just talking about his.
rather
You
than
know,
having to explain injuries to several young men each and
I
every
I
day
get
to
it.
their
I get.
parents. I'd rather must be in that position.
But Fluke brought up a good point. It depends on whether or not you're violating any civil rights that juvenile has. I keep saying it's the juvenile. Even the adults have certain rights. Now,
Yeah.
if he's a violent adult, he gets put in a, a segregated unit, and they have protocols in that unit. But if
Which
it's
we.
just a regular unit, you got to go and read, what's the protocol to make sure that you're adhering to it. You feel me?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, and I understand that. I mean, but I can guarantee you that there are those kinds of adjustments in all
Well,
juvenile
there's
facility
no,
in
yeah,
all
yeah. Look,
juvenile facility.
especially if it look, especially if it's a private facility,
Mhm.
because they way different. Uh, Damon, Juquarry, I want y'all to address this. That's on the bottom of the screen that Eric said. I'm just interested in what you guys think about that.
What about
What
all
What
the
about the
crazy ass?
crazy ass politicians that's doing all the bullshit and not getting charged like us? So,
You know, I ain't never. I'm too busy kind of. I'm trying to keep myself from being charged, man. I mean, if I was to
uh,
put it and thank you for the comment, and the question, and everything, bro, Eric. Uh, don't get me wrong. I'm not pushing back or anything, man. But I spent 50 years, the better part of 50 years, man, trying to keep myself from being prosecuted from anything. You know what I mean? I don't want to get into the this is not fair or that's not fair scenarios because I I learned from a lot from an early age. Life ain't fair, man.
no.
Life ain't fair, and the things that come easy, the good things come easy, to some people. Shit, I got to work for, So
so
I understand the box that I'm in.
you trying to strike even balance.
Yeah, but I want your answer to that question.
My answer to that question is that people are charged differently, man. There are certain people in this society that we live in, bruh, whose rights are being upheld to a certain extent, man, not totally taken away. When it comes to people like us, our rights are totally taken away and charged differently. You know what I'm saying? That's documented. You can research and see that. My point is, if you stick to constitutional rights, right? Do you take away those rights because you mad at the person because you feel disrespected? You know what I'm saying? That only applies to people that look like us, brother. It only applies to people that look like us when it comes to human rights. We gonna take your whole human right away. But the constitutional shit. You know what I'm saying? Did we have constitutional rights in the very beginning? No. Amendments was added. Amendments was added. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Nobody is supposed to be treated like caged animals. That's initially how it's supposed to be. But because we experience situations to what they are, we have a tendency to take away people's rights, man. And we feel justified by that because of how we determine their actions to be. We take away rights. But we don't do that for everybody else. If you look like me or you, all our rights are going to be taken away. If we look like somebody else or the people that's in control, no, they're gonna respect. In terms of constitutional stuff, they're gonna respect it. They're gonna respect it, and that's not based on constitutional stuff. That's based on our opinion. You know what? They are not manageable. They are not human. So we have to treat them that way to send a message, not based on their rights as human beings. Just simply to send a message. So what winds up happening? We wind up being treated differently, man. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I can't get caught up in that because if we put up on the young cat and we were like, hey man, give me your license. And that young cat say, why you stop me? We'll get to that. Give me your license. That's a violation to his constitutional rights, depending on what state you in. That is an automatic violation. And depending on how you look, that's going to hold. And guess what that is? That's extra charges. You're going to charge. If I get stopped and I say, Officer so-and-so, why did you stop me? I don't care nothing about that. Let me see your identification. Why do I have to show you my identification? We talk about Fourth or Fifth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, not to implicate myself. I say I'm done talking to you. I'm going to see your supervisor. You infringing on my right to check you and hold you into custody. Man, you going against my constitutional rights, man. I don't have to tell you shit because you didn't tell me why you stopped me. I have the right to do that. Well, they come up with some bullshit. Well, hey man, you look like a suspect that was described to me somewhere down the line or whatever. That ain't got nothing to do with the reason why you stopped me. Dude, get out the car. I don't have to leave my car, man. Yes, you do. Why? Because I'm not arresting you, but I'm holding you. Why are you holding me? That's not important. I need to know who you are. Anytime a police officer stop you, they're not your friend. They building a case against you. They have to justify stopping you. Anytime a law enforcement stop you, it's not to be your friend. It's to build a case. They have to justify the reason based on the Constitution why they stopped you in the first place. They have to do that. So when you ask them, because you understand your rights, why are you stopping me? Give me your information first. No, you got to tell me. Based on my constitutional rights, you have to tell me why you're stopping me in the first place. That escalates. Be it from ego or whatever, it escalates. And guess what? At the end of the day, they might have stopped you, man, because you was black. They might have stopped you because you was black and you driving a nice car. You know what I'm saying? And because you asked the simple question of the reasons why, and they refuse to tell you the reasons why, and you say, I refuse to answer the question based on my Fifth Amendment rights. And they say, oh, is that where you're going? Guess what they're doing? They're adding offenses against you in the court of law. Even though they violating your rights. When you stop somebody, you tell them the reason why.
Bro,
You tell them the reason why.
hold on, man. Hold on. Let me just tell you this, so you
Okay.
understand, and anybody else who ever see this podcast understand this.
You gonna tell me
All right?
about loopholes, right?
But no, it's
Okay.
not a loophole. What
All
it
right.
is no set time that you're supposed to be told why you got stopped. There's no step time. When you are, if the officer pull you over, right, and you, because you sign on the dotted line with that license, you
Mm-hmm.
authorize all law enforcement to pull you. Now, law enforcement has to have a reason to pull you, first and foremost, but
Okay.
there's no time limit on when he should tell you when or what he pulled you for.
So he can just stop me for whatever reason.
No, did you just hear what I just said, man? I
Yeah,
just
I heard
no,
everything you
no,
said.
no, 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 you didn't, because you said that he can stop you for any reason. I said to you, he don't have a time limit on when he can tell you, when he has to tell you what he stopped you for.
Now, do
Because,
you hear yourself?
I, bro,
That's
you pay attention to what I'm saying to you, because
Okay, I'm listening.
when you sign the dotted line for your license, you needed to watch and look at the fine print. Period.
Okay. And what does the
The
fine
fine,
print say,
the
bro?
fine print says that a license is a loan to you. You are not the owner of that license. It is
Okay.
the truth,
Okay.
first and foremost. Now,
Okay.
did I say to you? Did I say to you that you don't have rights? Yeah, you have rights. You have certain rights. But the one thing I said to you was, bro, you don't. It's not a time limit of when this man can say this. If he's being an asshole and he decides to write you a ticket, that's when he can tell you what he wrote you for. It's courtesy to tell you in the beginning why you got stopped.
in that scenario, man. You have rights, and you have what else was it?
So I'm
Yeah,
not telling you that what you said is wrong. I'm saying to you, there's a couple things, hiccups,
yeah.
right?
Let me say this, Keith.
No, no,
And,
no,
and
let me finish
I
this
just
because
I just because I had a thought, man, and I just wanted to finish it, man.
go ahead, man.
In that situation, man, you have your rights, but driving is not a right; it's a privilege.
It's the truth.
It being a
It's the truth.
privilege gives the police as an entity, as the law enforcement
You
entity,
have to have
the
probable cause.
right,
You have to have no, but hold on,
the
because
right. I'm not finished.
you
The
have to
right.
have
It
reasonable.
get.
Go
I'm
ahead.
not finished. The right, along with probable cause, to stop you.
Yeah,
I mean, there is an infinite amount of reasons why a police officer could choose to stop you. 9 times out of 10, the reason why they stop you is going to be on that ticket, along with whatever else, as Damon was saying, you might get charged with
yeah.
within the course of that exchange.
I
That's
mean,
it.
and really, I had to say that because the bottom line is, and I tell people all the time, understand that if this man is writing you a ticket, he definitely has to tell you why he's writing you a ticket. You understand? But when it comes to common courtesy, and like I said, if they're being a dickhead, which there's a lot of dickheads out there, they're gonna try to play games with you. You want to know why? Because they grew up wanting to be a fucking Bruce Willis in Die Hard. It is what it is, right? Or have another agenda. But when somebody say I exercise my Amendment rights, this, that, and that, okay. Well, you know what I would do if I had a reason to write you a ticket. I would write you a ticket from there, and hand it to you, and let you go. They show you the court date and let you go on. We don't have to debate about it. You know why? Because it's a moving violation. It's no murder. It is no assault. It's a moving violation. It's what it is. People over oversaturate what your rights are. Yes, you have a lot of rights in which you mentioned
How you oversaturate that, bro?
because what you said was, I refuse to answer you under my Fifth Amendment rights. That's true. If that's what you want to do, but what he's going to do is write you the ticket.
Yeah, that is just because you plead the fifth does not stop the situation, man.
It don't. It really don't.
Even if they don't tell you the reason why they stopped you.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. I told you there's not a time limit. But if they writing you a fucking ticket, they got to tell you why they stopped you. You understand what I'm saying?
Why they building the case against
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying that. I'm
Okay.
saying when you ask if they're being when you ask and they're being a dickhead, they ain't gonna say shit.
Right. So my constitutional rights is
But what they're gonna do
bullshit.
is no, it got nothing to do with it, bro. Because they feel
Really?
they got probable cause to write you a certain ticket. So
Right.
if they go and write the ticket, then when they hand it to you, when they hand you the ticket, they're gonna tell you exactly what they wrote you for. Because they're obligated to do it.
Okay. Why not tell me that from the jump start? From the
Because
very beginning. When I asked you the question, why not tell me?
They're being assholes because I'm gonna tell you
Because
now,
they're trying to build a case
nine,
against your ass.
9 times out of 10, when a person asks a officer that question, they're gonna tell you, hey, this is 55, you was doing 65. They'll tell you. 9 times out of 10. You know, look, this is my point. If you want to go down that road, you can. There's no right or wrong to this shit. It really ain't.
Yes,
As
it
long
is.
as long as you're keeping your cool. No, see, this is what I'm talking about. You say
So,
this.
so, so,
So
so,
what
so,
is that?
so, for me to exercise my constitutional rights, I have to
What?
keep my cool.
Hold on. Yes. What you talking about?
Do you hear what you're saying, bro?
Tell me something. And I want you to answer this. I want you to answer this honestly, right?
Okay, I'm listening.
If you get stopped for something, a moving violation,
Okay.
whether you think you did it or not, where does your constitutional rights come into play?
You stopping me, man.
There is you having a license is a privilege, and it's his job to monitor moving violations, right? Am I right?
So, to
Hold
hell with,
on. I'm asking
to
you.
hell with actual violations, right?
Listen to what I'm saying to you,
I'm
man.
listening to what you're saying,
Oh
bro.
no, because you're going against it. You're trying to debate me on it, and I'm trying to tell you exactly what it is.
Okay.
Really and truly. If you get stopped, the right protocol is this man saying to you, hey, you ran the stoplight. Oh, hey, you ran the stop sign. Oh, you was doing this, doing that, right? But he's being an asshole. He's not going to tell you until he makes the decision whether or not he's going to write the ticket. And I'm speaking, and what I'm doing, I'm speaking. Look, he dropped his earphone on purpose. You dropped that on purpose.
No. I had this one in. I dropped that one.
I'm just
I hear
fucking.
you. Everything you're saying.
I'm just
Yes,
fucking.
yes, you did. Yes, you did.
No, but my point. This is my point, dog. You have a lawyer who can very well throw that the fuck out if you have a good lawyer. If it's a moving violation and you call it into question. So what do? You record everything that's going on. And if you don't agree, even court-appointed attorneys are able to fight certain things. You feel what I'm saying? Because these motherfuckers that pull you. I wasn't an expert, and they not experts, though. Now, if they trying to drag you out your car, now the Constitution is coming into play. They trying to talk you into and I'm telling people this right now. If you do not have a reason for these folks to search your vehicle, you can tell them no.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they say to you, hey, I can bring the dogs,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
I'm following you.
There is a time limit on how long you're supposed to be on that stop. I'm being honest with you.
Okay.
Because you know why? This is the fucking rules. So I'm not giving away no fucking secrets. You can say no. No, man. Just give me my ticket. You understand? Well, I smell marijuana. No, you don't.
Build a case.
You understand what I'm saying to you? Because
so in actuality, you building a case without even telling me the reasons why you stopped me.
I don't know. I don't know. Look, I don't know what's.
If I asked you, if a cop pulled me over and I say, "Hey, officer, how you doing? All right, let me get your license and registration." I say, "Well, why you pull me over?" We're gonna get to that, dude. If you don't tell me my infraction from the jump start, moving forward, you probing, dog.
This is my best guesstimate of what's going on is you cover your bases when you go to a stop. Right? So once you receive the license, you go back to your vehicle and run the license.
Right.
Which they have every right to do. And then when they come back, they'll tell you why they pulled you.
But here's the thing, Keith. Here's the thing.
What I tell you earlier, though. What I say earlier.
Hear what I'm saying, bro. Hear what I'm saying, bro. Hear what I'm saying. If you stop me, if you stop me, right, and you walk up to the car and say license and registration, and I say, why you stop me? He's like, we'll get to that later on. He has to explain to me why he stopped me, bro. If he don't, he violating my constitutional fucking rights.
Just like I said.
No. Hold on, Keith. Now that's it. Now that's it. Hold on, bro. Okay. Hold on, bro. That's it. If I get stopped and I say, officer, why did you stop me? Hey, man, we're going to get to that later. But I need your license. Right? You know what I'm saying? That's a violation of your constitutional rights, man. That's exactly what it is. Based on what the document says, that's a violation of your constitutional rights. Because I can ask him, I can say, hey man, hey, if you tell me that I ran a light or did some old traffic violation, then I will produce my damn license. If you tell me exactly what I did. But if he say, man, I ain't with all that bullshit, I just need to identify you. You are not upholding to my constitutional rights. What you are doing is probing to find out whether or not you can find some shit on me.
Maybe, no, I'll give you that. But let me ask you a question. Why would you, because he didn't answer, because I said to you, this is information that I just shared with you. There's not a time limit unless it's other states, maybe it's some states that put it in there.
But isn't a violation of my rights, Keith?
Listen, dog. Listen. See, you think I'm disagreeing with you. I'm trying to tell you some shit, man.
Okay, I'm listening.
What I'm trying to tell you is this.
I'm listening.
What I'm trying to tell you is this. In some states, two things I wanted to make sure you understood. In some states, you're required to get out the vehicle on the traffic stop.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
In some states, they may require their officers and troopers, whoever, to tell you right away why you got stopped,
Right.
right?
Right.
But it's not always a requirement, so it's not violating your constitutional rights.
It's not.
No, because I just said to you, is a time that there's not a time limit. But
So you a goddamn you the Gestapo then.
if they write you a ticket, they got to tell you why, bro.
I don't. What's your dispute, Fuka? I mean, I understand you said that you feel like it's a violation of your constitutional rights. I understand that, but I mean, just because you say that, just because you say that you plead the fifth, just because you disagree with the stop, overall, does not mean that situation is going to end just because you protest. You're expressing your constitutional rights with the protest with is protestment a word?
It could be today.
Yeah, I mean that's you expressing your constitutional rights right there.
Okay.
But look, let me.
So no, hold on, Keith. No. I want him to finish his point.
And what I have.
All right.
Okay,
look,
so he can stop me for any fucking reason.
No. Because he refused to say something to you, you think he stopped you for any fucking reason?
Yes.
No, because he has to have a reason to have stopped you.
Okay, and he can express
hold
that
on.
when I ask him?
It's not a time limit on when he tells you.
That's crazy to me, man. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. That is the craziest shit I ever heard in my life.
I get it.
You can stop me, and I say, officer, why you stop me? Hey, motherfucker, I got a time limit to tell you the reason why.
He will go back with your license and registration and go to his computer and make sure that you straight in the computer. Then he'll come back and tell you exactly why you were stopped.
Okay. I'm good. I get you. I get what you're saying.
But no, hold on.
I get what you're saying.
I need you to understand something. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying to you, there's not a time limit in which they can tell you.
But here's the thing that you're not considering, bro.
Man.
What if they stop me because I'm black? They profiling me.
Bro.
What if it's a bogus situation? I'm supposed to give up my rights, man, for them to find a reason to justify stopping me for whatever?
Bro.
Driving is a privilege, man. You haven't given up no rights.
Listen, how are you giving up your rights, man, if he just pulled you?
My constitutional rights.
How are you giving them up if he just pulled you?
What does the state of Michigan say? Don't tread on me?
All right, bro. Good point. We good. We're not disagreeing. We not at all. We not.
I'm just asking questions, bro.
Yeah, it's going through the treadmill.
I'm just asking questions, man.
Like I said.
But who's more apt to be stopped, man?
I get it, dog. I get it.
Probing.
But yeah, absolutely.
You gonna investigate some shit violating my rights.
Okay, bro. We passed 2 hours, and I've been trying to answer your question. And now what I need you to do is go into your segment so we can go ahead and end this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go into my segments. Here's the thing, man. Here's how I feel, man. Cause I done been, in my lifetime as a 57-year-old man, I done been stopped like at least 35 goddamn times in my life, man. Most of those times I was let go because I understood my rights. I say 90% of the time I got stopped, I was let go because I understood my damn rights, man. I hear my brother who was in law enforcement for over 30 years say there's a time limit. In my understanding, when it comes to my constitutional rights, There's no time limit involved in that shit. When you put on your lights and you stop me, you have to have a valid reason for doing that as it pertains to my rights. As it pertains to my rights. You say, hey, Juquarry say, well, it's a privilege to drive. For who?
That's also
Where do you that bruh, that you know what I'm saying? That shit you can you can decide who is allowed to be on the roads or not based on that particular premise, man. Or it's a privilege. No, how it is and how it should be is everybody who's able to have license should be able to drive. When you start talking about privilege, then you restricting people. When you stop people and you don't tell them the reason why, then you restricting and violating their constitutional rights. That's what you're doing. There's no way in the world for me, in my eyes, based on what I know, how you violate that. Don't stop me and not tell me the reason why. You know what I'm saying? You can stop me based on my color. And say, hey, you know, I got a time limit to figure out. And in that time limit and figuring out, you stopped me because you profiled me. That's the reason why you stopped me. Not because I violated I had an infraction as it pertained to traffic stops and all that stuff. If you stop me, I have the right to say, hey, officer, with respect, why did you stop me? I'll let you know. And you go back there with my license and you look up some shit and you say, you know what? I got to figure out how to justify stopping this guy. That's a violation to my constitutional rights. That's what it is. That's what it is. But if you stop me and you say, well, you didn't have a full stop at that light, the stop sign on such and such street or whatever, you know, and I say, okay, I'll challenge you in court with that. You understand what I'm saying? You don't stop me to build a damn case. If you stop me from some traffic violations, give me the ticket. And let me move on about my day. And then I would meet with you, which is my right, to challenge the shit. But you're going to tell me you got, well, hey, it's a certain amount of time where I can figure out how I can build a case against your ass. What is that? That's a violation, man. Tell me the reason why. You cannot take up that time that you have as it pertains to stopping me to build a case. No, you have to tell me your reasons why. If you cannot tell me, then let me go about my business. If you build a case against me, then let me invoke my rights. And then I have a lawsuit against your ass. And that's simply what it is. Now, states are different, whatever. But in the state of Michigan, if I can give up my license, but my passenger doesn't. They don't. Are you going to do the same thing to me? That you going to do the same thing to him that you going to do to me? You don't have the right to do that. He don't have to identify himself because he didn't, you know what I'm saying, which is articulable suspicion. You have to break a law or finna break a law or have broken the law. That's the state of Michigan. So when you stop me, you have to have a reason for it. You don't stop. If that was the case, you could stop any black man that you see driving to build a damn case. You have to respect rights, man. If we are citizens of this country, in terms of the Constitution, you have to respect that. And you have to give me a reason. Hey, Hey man, I stopped you because you ran a stop sign. Okay, then give me the ticket. Let me go about my way. All the other shit, with who you are, where you stay at, where you going, ain't none of your goddamn business, man. You stopped me for this reason. Hey man, you roll through the stop sign. Give me the ticket and let me go. Don't question my passengers. Do none of that shit. There ain't none of your goddamn business. Don't sit up and hold me up trying to build a goddamn case because that's your job. Because it's just like capitalism. It's just like capitalism. We want to see how we can get money from this shit. You're not finna do that with me. Tell me why you stopped me. Immediately, hey man, I stopped you because I saw you roll through the stop sign. Okay, write me a ticket. I can have 15 motherfuckers in the car. Who's in the car ain't none of your goddamn business. Write me the ticket so I can go and challenge you in the court of law or pay the damn ticket. But you sit around talking to me, well, I got time to investigate you. You violate my constitutional rights. That's what you're doing. And that's just my opinion. And that's all I gotta really say about it, bro.
I got you. I got you. Looking at this, what Malika have up here.
I got stopped for having a fucking Christmas tree. I was going to the Marshall to pick up my kids. And they stopped me because I had a fucking air freshener tree hanging from my rear view joint. And before the motherfucker let me go, you know what he said? Hey man, the only reason why he stopped me because you riding a white car, which is known for trafficking and all that shit, and you had this shit hanging, and we stopped you for that reason.
So he told you he stopped you because you drive a white trafficking car.
A white, the Cameron's the Saber. That's exactly what he said. Gave me the ticket. Had me sitting there for 45 minutes. You know where they let me go, Keith? Because a motherfucker went by speed. And before the motherfucker, I said, man, why the fuck you stop me, man? Dude, I've been sitting here. I told you, my daughter's waiting for me. He's like, man, white cars, man, usually do this and do that. And plus you had that thing, and that justified it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Didn't even give me a ticket, bro. Didn't give me. If you think I'm lying, ask Morgan.
I got you, bro.
They stopped me because I was driving a white car with a goddamn air freshener hanging from my damn rear view mirror. That's why they stopped me. So, forgive me, man. Forgive me when I say, dude, man, why did you stop me? In that case, they told the truth. Man, you got that. They told me that little fucking pine tree joint that was hanging obstructed my view. That's why they stopped me. Literally.
That had to be a city ordinance because that's some bullshit. First of all,
I'm just telling you that. You know what I mean? Since it is what it is, bro.
That's some bullshit, but it is what it is, like you said. What we're gonna do? We're gonna take this because we're running on vapors.
I think we need to continue this shit, bro. For real. This to give a message and give people understanding of their rights, man.
You made your point, and I definitely, along with you, gave people their rights from the law enforcement community. So it was a great show,
I think so.
great show. Um, this is a strong perspective podcast, and we here every Friday, 7:30. Some days we might switch up to a Saturday, but we try to stay consistent. You do us a favor, go to our YouTube channel, go go subscribe to our channel because what we try to do, we try to reach everyday people, talk about everyday things. Is what it is. Any last words, Juquarry?
It was a good show, man. Some good comments made, some good points made, man.
Okay. What about you, Damon?
I think, man, I enjoy talking to my brothers, man, because we get deep with this shit, man. For real.
No doubt. No
We
doubt.
get deep with this shit. I enjoy talking to my brothers, man, getting y'all perspectives, man, because I'm learning. As we teaching everybody else, I'm learning from y'all.
Hey, Malika, we're going to stay right here, honey, because we got the YouTube channel. I understand. Look, we do the live. We do the live on Friday because it's convenient for the three of us. But we don't need everybody to come to our live. We would love it. We would love it to come, for to come on Fridays. But Friday is convenient for us. Friday is convenient for us. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna go ahead and, like I said, it's gonna be a couple days that we may go on another day. But this Strong Perspective podcast and this underground thing, we're moving, we're making it happen. And I got two great hosts, co-hosts with me, and we're gonna keep it going. Tune in next week because we got another interesting show. It's about it's about violence in our community, and I think you're gonna enjoy it. But look, this is Strong Perspective podcast. Y'all have a good night and good weekend.